Bored on a Saturday night, I stumbled onto a dark ritual game in the deep web. Big mistake. Now a terrifying creature hunts me, and my deepest fear, drowning, is the only way to survive. Will I face my fear or become another victim of this twisted game? Click to read the chilling story of my fight for survival. Hit subscribe and ring that notification bell to stay tuned for the next terrifying chapter.
The stale scent of burnt popcorn and regret hung heavy in the air. Bored out of my skull on a Saturday night, I found myself delving deeper into the uncharted territories of the internet. Gone were the usual social media feeds and curated content. I was navigating the murky waters of the deep web, clicking on a link with a skull and cryptic inscription, "The Midnight Game," a morbid curiosity gnawed at me. It detailed a ritualistic game, promising a glimpse into your deepest fears. Scoffing at the childishness of it all, I followed the instructions. A list of tasks, each progressively more unsettling, filled the screen. Light a candle at midnight. Open all the doors and windows in your house. Stand in front of a mirror and whisper your truest fear 3 times. Hesitantly, I finished the tasks, a prickle of unease rising on my skin. In the flickering candlelight, my reflection looked pale and nervous. Just as I thought it was all a hoax, a low, guttural voice echoed from behind me. It wasn't my voice. It rasped, "You shouldn't have played." Terror choked me. I spun around, but the room was empty. Panic clawed at my throat. I sprinted to the door, but the knob wouldn't turn. A blood-curdling scream escaped my lips as the windows slammed shut with an inhuman force. The air grew thick and oppressive, the shadows in the room seemed to writhe and twist. Suddenly, the floorboards creaked above. A heavy thud. Then silence. My heart pounded a frantic rhythm against my ribs. With trembling hands, I grabbed a poker from the fireplace. Every creak, every groan of the old house sent chills down my spine. The silence shattered with a blood-curdling shriek. It came from the attic. Slowly, with leaden feet, I climbed the rickety stairs. The air was thick with the metallic tang of blood. My stomach churned. A single bulb cast an eerie glow on a scene straight out of a nightmare. A figure, shrouded in darkness, knelt over a body. "Who are you?" I croaked, my voice barely a whisper. The figure turned. 2 empty sockets stared back at me, like hollow voids in the skull. A gaping maw of jagged teeth split its face. A visceral scream ripped from my throat as it lunged. I barely dodged its gnarled claws, the stench of rot assaulting my senses. Adrenaline surged through me. I jabbed the poker at the creature. It shrieked, burning flesh sizzling. It retreated back into the shadows, hissing a threat. Trapped, my mind raced. This game, this stupid game, had opened a portal to something monstrous. Thinking back to the instructions, a glimmer of hope flickered. The final task, if it comes for you, face your fear. It was absurd. My deepest fear was drowning. What did that have to do with this? Desperate, I sprinted downstairs and flung open the back door. Behind the house lay a rickety old well. My breath hitched. This was madness. But what other choice did I have? Taking a deep breath, I gripped the rope attached to the well bucket and lowered myself down. The darkness was suffocating, the earthy smell thick. Each creak of the rope sent chills down my spine. I reached the bottom, my feet landing with a soft splash in shallow water. Then, I heard it. The guttural rasp above. Laughter, cold and cruel. The creature lowered itself down the well, its silhouette a monstrous parody of a human form. It descended slowly, savoring my fear. Panic threatened to consume me. But then, I remembered. Facing my fear. Taking a deep breath of the damp air, I submerged myself underwater. The cold seeped into my bones, the pressure constricting my lungs. My vision blurred, but I held my breath, staring up at the distorted image of the creature above. Its laughter died down, replaced by a confused snarl. It couldn't understand. It wasn't fear that fueled me, but a desperate gamble. Then, as my vision began to fade, the sound started. Hissing, sputtering, a low gurgle. The creature, unable to breathe underwater, was drowning. A morbid sense of satisfaction washed over me. I held my breath until everything went black. When I awoke, gasping for air, I was sprawled on the well house floor. Dawn was breaking, casting a faint light on the scene. The creature was gone. The well rope lay slack, the bucket submerged. I had survived. Slowly, feeling battered but alive, I climbed out of the well. My phone, lying forgotten in my pocket, buzzed. A single message. A skull emoji. I stared at it, a wave of nausea washing over me. But it was over.